The Cleveland Cavaliers against the Boston Celtics made one thing very clear.
Tatum drops Niang. Tatum delivers one to go. Mitchell just crossed over Holiday.
The Cavs have what it takes to take over the NBA this year, and they showed everyone why they're a #1 threat to the next NBA title. So grab your popcorn, because this game was revenge, and Donovan Mitchell was out for blood.
Tatum just clocks Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell was on fire in the final 12 minutes of their second matchup against Boston.
Mitchell picked up by Hauser, steps back, and
After putting up a 35-point game, 20 of those points were in the fourth quarter alone. And from there, the Cleveland Cavaliers remained the league's best team so far this season. But this win didn't come easy. We already know how the last game went on November 19th when the Cavs played their worst game so far this season.
Cleveland and Boston. Horford gets a block from behind. Garland's having a rough night, and another three is down. Running with Horford, clock ticks.
I mean, let's be real. That game added more fuel to the Cavs' fire this season, and it kind of felt personal after the collision between Donovan and Jayson.
To me, this is not a flagrant. Tatum's trying to steal.
After breaking their 15-game win streak, the Cavs went on to lose back-to-back against the Hawks. So walking into this game after losing 3 times, and one of them to the team that took away their historic run, this game was much more serious. But it's clear that this is not the same Cavs team from last year. This year, the Cavs are first in points. Points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, offensive rating, plus minus, and clutch wins. Turns out every major media source had been wrong about this team. A lot has become clear about the Cavs this year, and that became evident after Game 2 against Boston. Between the 2 games this season so far, the Cavs have won 3 of the 4 halves, both on December 1st. They shot better this time at 48.8% from the field over Boston's 40% and 47.2% from the arc, while Boston only shot 34.7%. I have to admit, this was a drastic change compared to November 19th for Boston, as they shot 51.2% from the field and 53.7% from 3. On top of that, Boston put up a new NBA record, with 20 consecutive games of 13 plus 3-pointers made. To put this in perspective, as of November 19th, the Celtics made 287 3-pointers so far this season. That is the most by any team over any 15-game span in NBA history. Now, on a side note, Boston was missing Jaylen Brown and Derrick White on December 1st, so obviously that would have played a factor as well. But on the flip side, the Cavs didn't have LeVert or Okoro on November 19th either, who could have helped contribute to the Cavs' height, muscle, and mobility against both Jaylen and Jayson, which could have been the difference in the 3-point loss. On top of that, after playing a shockingly bad game,
And it is very rare as Garland finally gets one to go after missing 9 in a row.
it felt like the Cavs were missing Darius Garland as well. I mean, first of all, this wasn't like him, since he was the Eastern Player of the Week just the week before. This entire game was just not the game for Garland. For example, he misses on the jump shot, Mobley picks up the rebound and sends the ball back to Garland for redemption.
And he's been a big part of the
And yet, with the second chance, Garland still can't come through. And this wasn't the first time this happened. I mean, in the first quarter alone, he shot 1 for 8 from the field and 0 for 2 from the arc. Throughout the entire game, he shot 3 for 21 from the field and 0 for 6 for 3-pointers. But walking into this game,
just 6 days ago as Mobley
Garland put up 22 points, shooting 5 for 12 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. The Cavs snapped Boston's 7-game win streak and stopped them from becoming first in the league. They really got their payback, and it showed as they kicked off the game with a 9-0 run.
3, got Horford in the air, and Darius Garland returned just 6 days ago as Mobley takes the lead from Garland. Fast break opportunities, and the league said we don't want that. As Garland.
Boston didn't get their first points until 8:44 in the game.
Porzingis with a long.
And eventually, Boston does make a comeback and even gets a 1-point lead over the Cavs,
Pritchard steps back for 3.
but it doesn't last long.
Niang got Cornette on a flyby, and George.
After Niang drains that shot, on the next Cavs possession, Donovan Mitchell comes in to continue that momentum, making it a 4-point game.
Niang, Merrill, and LeVert as Mitchell cruises to the basket.
Overall, this quarter alone showed the difference between the Cavs' last game, where they were down by 6, shooting 0 for 6 from 3, and only 8 for 23 from the field, to winning the quarter, actually putting up 5 3-pointers and shooting 11 for 25 from the field. Their ball movement stepped up.
Merrill, Niang, open.
You can tell from the last game when Boston did a great job at boxing out the Cavs. Let's actually head over to that game for a sec. Mitchell tries to make a drive, but only gets so far. Now, before he does that, take a look at how the Celtics keep the Cavs boxed out. As soon as Mitchell runs in, he's faced with a double team and forced to make the floating jumper. This happens again on the next Cavs possession. The Celtics have control of the middle and down low, pushing the Cavs to the outside. Mitchell can't get through Sam Hauser,
most of the twos at both ends,
and is forced to make another floating jump shot. Sure, both of these were buckets, but the point was Boston's defense shocked the Cavs in the first half. So going back to the last play,
Puts it on the floor. Frees up.
they do the same thing, except Donovan Mitchell sees that, uses the double team to his advantage, while LeVert sits at the top wide open and no one is covering him. I know he misses this shot, but this was like a foreshadowing of the rest of the game, and you'll see why. During the next quarter, the Cavs came in hot again with a 14-3 run, as well as limiting Boston, only putting up 3 points
He's gone to Drew Peterson here
in the
as
first 3
Porzingis
minutes between the first and second quarter. On top of that, the Cavs continue some great ball movement.
runs the floor. Merrill, Niang, open.
And remember how last game the Celtics defense shocked the Cavs? Well, now it was their time to return the favor.
Without two starters tonight as Pritchard fires. Porzingis, real deep.
After the Cavs got an 11-point lead,
Or offensive rebound. So.
Niang again.
we knew Boston wouldn't let them walk away that easily,
Joe Johnson. Brooklyn
as they made their way back and even took the lead by 1. But like I said, the Cavs were different this game. After Boston took the lead, Garland put the Cavs back in control and took a 7-0 run.
Garland. Floats.
Slow down their pace just a little bit. There you go.
But the next half took a massive turn for both teams. Boston started coming in hard, putting up 35 points this quarter. In fact, they pretty much took over the entire quarter. Jayson Tatum went off with 17 points alone.
Tatum clears himself.
And the momentum for the Cavs from the first half just disappeared.
Got stalled there and he threw it away.
You got to go ahead and shoot that.
Horford. He'll drive, shovel off to Allen.
This game went from a 2-point lead for the Cavs to a 14-point deficit.
Leaned upon by Mitchell.
Remember the foreshadowing I mentioned earlier from the Cavs? In the final 12 minutes, the Cavs showed up. I thought 35 points was impressive by the Celtics, until the Cavs put up 43 points in this quarter.
Scoring 19 points in a 7-minute stretch in the fourth quarter. And here in this fourth quarter as Merrill.
I thought Jayson Tatum's 17 points was impressive, until I witnessed Donovan Mitchell put up 20. As the Cavs defense started coming back,
Fight Tatum. Tatum, tough shot. Tatum steps back. A contested.
they went on a 14-4 run in the last 8 minutes and closed the gap to only 2 points.
Mitchell picked up by Hauser. Steps back. And
While Boston's offense started going downhill.
Richard looks to weave his way inside.
Moral of the story, the Celtics may be the best team to beat, but don't count out the Cavs. As the Cavs turned up the pressure, Boston started missing shots, a lot.
Starting five back on the floor for the Cavs.
And then in the final minutes, Donovan Mitchell turned up. During the first half, he only put up 5 points, which was kind of bizarre. But in the second half, he put up 30 points to help the Cavs win against Boston.
Mitchell just crossed over Holiday. His three.
After this shot, the Cavs went on another run going 7-0. But it was the mismatch Boston hoped to exploit between Darius Garland and Jayson Tatum that created momentum for the Cavs to take over.
Late in the shot clock. Tatum off balance.
From this point on, the Cavs took
Mitchell
over.
on the logo. Inside to Okoro.
But the real dagger in the Cavs' favor came from Pritchard's lane
There it is.
violation.
He whipped it off the thing, but we went over the line. He's got it.
Nice job knocking those.
Mitchell. No fouls. Holiday misses, and that's it.